Welcome to the Javier Mendez podcast. And today, with special guests, we actually have a serious big name fighter on our channel for once off. Cain Velasquez. Welcome, Cain. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
I thought I was the guy.
Hey. Oh, hey, Javi. How you doing over there? Always give me a hard time, but here we are.
Finally, I got outdone. Our first real guest, and I get outdone. Dang it.
Well, the Booker has helped us out today. I was just talking with Cain before we started, and well, first of all, everybody loved the little short video the other day where it looked like he was going to grapple you at the desk for giving him a hard time. But the funniest part about that video, he's like, "Who are you?" Because you were always missing from the gym too. So I think it's like both you guys left AKA for a little bit.
Well, he came back before I did. That's why he's going, "Who are you?" I was the first guy there. That was my first time there. That's not his first time back. So I hadn't come back for a while. So yeah, that's why he said, "Who are you?" So if people knew that, then they'd understand the joke why he meant, "Who are you?" He's kind of comical that way. He doesn't let you know the joke, but if you know the story, you know the joke.
Yes.
I want to ask about how you guys met eventually. I mean, I know that I met Cain, and you might not remember me, but I was filming with MMA Jacked when you first came there before you fought in the UFC. Mm-hmm. And it was at the old, I think, was it the Glass Factory gym, or that's what it was? Hillsdale. Yeah, I was down there because Jake Shields used to train at a gym I used to run. So I think he was there doing some stand-up with Josh or something like that, or even Koscheck was in the background. But that's when I saw you there, and everyone was like whispering to me, "That's Cain. That's the future champion." And you hadn't even fought yet. They're like, "That's Cain." But how did you come to get to know Javier?
Well, I was wrestling in college at the time. I was at Arizona State, and I knew that I wanted to start fighting. Once I was done with college, my coach at the time, Tom Ortiz, he was good friends with Dwayne Zinkin, which was one of the managers at AKA. So I just knew that once I graduated, I would go out to AKA. So I went before. So this was like my end of my senior year. I went out for about a week, maybe like 4 days or so, something like that. I don't think it was total as a week, and just went in just a couple of days to try it out, see how I liked it. And yeah, the first time I walked into the gym, I saw Hav near the office. And I'm not sure what he thought of me or anything. Like, it's just a new face, a new body coming in. Like, I knew nothing. All I knew was wrestling at the time.
Maybe you'll remember this. I was on top of the ring when you came in, and Cassandra goes, "Hey, Hav, your new guy's here." And I looked at you. I say hi, and I said to you, "Oh, I thought you were going to be bigger." And you go, "Oh, yeah, I wrestled at like 280 or something for your competition." But you didn't know what I meant, because what I meant was because you're Mexican, right? And I never seen a Mexican that big, that athletic. So when I saw you looked very athletic. So I was like, wow, okay. I thought you were going to be, bigger. Basically, I made that comment was under the thing is it was all based on the fact that you look very athletic. You didn't look like I thought. I thought you were going to look like Paul Bonatello. Okay, put it.
Okay.
That's it. You didn't look like Paul Bonatello. You look very athletic. That was the difference.
No, and I thought you meant like bigger, like yes, like more weight. Which
yeah,
I've always even in college wrestled against guys that are much bigger, much heavier. I wasn't a big heavyweight. I was always undersized, and that's the same thing that was in my UFC career. Always undersized. So
Paul Bontello was there when you were there too, wasn't he?
I was. Yes. Yeah. He was there.
So he was like the model, like Javier had him hardwired in his head. That's what they're supposed to look like. Heavyweight Mexican guys.
Look, in all fairness, most Latin guys that are that heavyweight department don't look like Cain. We're more like Paul. Like if you're that heavy, you got the big belly and small skinny legs. But Cain was well proportioned everywhere. So it wasn't like Cain had small legs and then big belly. He was proportioned everywhere. Very, very athletic. He was very athletic when he walked through, and that's what I noticed about him. That's what got my big attention was how athletic he looked. for Latin guys. He knows, Cain knows. Most of us don't look that athletic at that size.
Well, I mean, you being a former light heavyweight champion, Latino guy, Mexican guy, it's like, here's Hermano. He walks right in. He's like, hey, I mean, that must have felt like something special to you. You're like, wow, what if we can increase this legacy together? I wonder if that ever ran through your mind in the beginning.
No. What ran through my mind is that's a big Mexican. That's what ran through my mind. And also keep in mind, I was a light heavyweight, but the light heavyweight was 179 pounds. That's the light heavyweight in kickboxing. So that's not a light heavyweight in MMA. So realistically, I only have to drop 2 or 3 pounds to make fight weight. So realistically, if I was fighting MMA, I'd be a 155 or so. Real light heavyweight, and I was never a real light heavyweight guy. You know.
You're down there with Habib and the boys, pretty much.
Yeah, not pretty much like Habib. I'd be in there. If I did MMA, I would be doing that weight, not light heavyweight. No way. Too small.
So Cain, did you know who Javier was before you went down there? Had you heard, like when you're in school, where you're like, oh, I heard about this gym, or what was it that got you out there? I mean, I know it's kind of close to where you grew up, sort of too, isn't it?
It was as well. Yes. Yeah. I grew. I was born about an hour away, in Salinas. But yeah, like that, like being in the Bay Area. I heard of all the different MMA guys that they had at AKA thus far. I knew they were the powerhouse of the West Coast.
Yeah.
So I felt like they had all the ingredients to like, if I was going to do this would be the perfect place for me to do it at.
At what point did DC come into the picture with you being there? Like, how long were you there, or was he there when you got there? I forget exactly, but
like maybe I was like 2 or 3 years doing it.
Yeah.
It seemed like, and then DC came in, and then I kind of like, I feel like when somebody new comes in, you don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if, like, regardless of what they have, like already, of what their background is, of where they've been in their previous like life or previous like sport, you don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know how they're gonna translate over to the MMA. You just don't know, because there's so many different aspects of MMA that can make somebody or eventually like just kill them, like kill their whole, like kill what they have. It can just smash it. So same thing with DC when he came in. Like I knew how good he was at wrestling. I knew what he's done in the wrestling sport, but there's something more that you need to bring to the table when it comes to mixed martial arts. You have to be more comfortable with being uncomfortable in that sport. And if you can do that, then you can make something happen there.
You remember how you basically you taught him everything you knew. You gravitated to him. You showed him everything without any problem, knowing that this guy could be a competitor down the line for you. You didn't even think nothing like that. It was right off the bat. He was a brother. He was AKA. You were going to give him everything you had. And that, I think that, in my opinion, I think that's one of the things that DC loved about you right from the get-go, is that you didn't hold anything back. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that's DC, but that's what I felt, that you gave everything you had to him right away without any reason whatsoever, other than just, he's a teammate, I'm going to give him everything I got.
I did, man. And like with him, like, yes, like I gave him every tool that I felt like he needed to hurry up his progression as quick as possible, because I knew that was going to make me better. Even if I knew I gave him too much, that like we would be battling in the gym. Like I know that's what I needed, you know. And that's as soon as I came to AKA, like I knew I could beat a lot of people just with my wrestling at AKA, but I knew the best thing for me was to help everybody achieve and get to a certain higher level, so that can better me in the long run.
Correct.
So I had to do that I did that with everybody. There wasn't like I would hold back and say, no, I'm not going to give him this because it's going to make it more difficult for me. It is going to make it more difficult for me, but that's going to make the payoff more. It's going to make me better. It's going to make me a better fighter. It's going to everything. It's going to elongate, and just my progression is going to get much higher, much faster if I do that. And I know it's hard to give up your secrets because you lose in the gym, but it's practice. But once you get over that, like once you are able to win in those situations, that's what's going to make you better. So yes, and I would say to every teammate I've had, I've always done that because I know that's going to eventually make me better.
Let me give you a good example of what he's talking about, Len. When Cain first started with us, he was rolling with Mike Kyle, and I wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden, I hear this and then all of a sudden I'm the king, baby, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And here's Mike Kyle talking about he's the best, blah blah blah, because he armbarred Cain. So I go, Mike, what the hell is your problem? He goes nothing. I go, Cain doesn't know anything about submissions whatsoever, and you're acting like you're some big stuff because you armbarred him. I said, dude, that's not cool. I go, wait till you get some more experience to see what you can do then. So about, Cain 3 or 4 months after that, all of a sudden, Cain's got there and he armbarred Mike Kyle. And it was like, you know what Cain did? Instead of gloating and I'm whatever, no, Cain went and showed Mike Kyle what he was doing wrong.
It's interesting. I did an interview with Mike, and he was like, "Man, you don't know how tough it is training AK. You got to face Cain in the morning." This was many years probably after that armbar, so I think that all came around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
To be able to do what he did and the humility he had was just. It was second to none. Like the reason why I knew he was going to be a world champion the very first day. First of all, super athletic looking, and I watched them do some light sparring and down below before we put him in real sparring. And he's going with John Claude and the kickboxing, right? Just kickboxing, and John Claude kicked Cain in the head, boom. So Cain, what he did, he picked him up very lightly, put him down,
Mm-hmm.
John Claude kicked him again, kaboom, right in the head. Cain went, smacked him on the ground. And I said, wow. I go, first of all, most people, when you kick them that hard, first thing they're going to do is slam you right away because that's what we do. But he had the discipline to say, no, I'm gonna show him. But then the second time, John Claude kicked him in the head again. That was like smash. Then John Claude got it. Okay, I better chill on that because he can smash me. So that's when I knew he was going to be a world champion because of that instance. Then I remember Crazy Bob Cook said, "Hey, let's put Cain to spar." I go, "No, I don't need to see him spar." "Oh no, we got to." I go, "No." I said, "No, I don't need to see him spar because I seen that and I didn't need to see anything more." And that right there is when I said that guy's going to be the champ. And sure enough, came through. Because why? Here.
It's interesting you pointed out about like I know a lot of guys get caught being the biggest fish in the ocean. Like they don't share their sparring. Like they don't like you were just talking about a moment ago, Cain, where you're showing them your secret dragon punch and your other move or your certain wrestling technique only to make them better. And by not holding out, you created more competition. But by creating more competition, you upped your game. Whereas some people are in a gym and they're like, yeah, knocking everybody out and pulling that armbar game on everybody in the room and like, look at me, champ of the gym, and show up UFC fight day. They're no, it ain't gonna happen because they haven't upped their game, right?
Yeah. There comes a point where everybody's gonna see like what you've done. It's not a secret, it's already there. It's up to them to finally like catch up and know what you're doing exactly by it being done to you. But if you show somebody and again, it's not a secret. You show somebody like, yes, you level the playing field quicker than maybe what you wanted. But if you're in a sport to be the best and you're confident that you can go with anybody, then you give your secrets up to, especially your teammates, to help sharpen iron, to help all that, and to know that you have the confidence that you are going to beat everybody, and it doesn't matter like what they know or don't know. So it was basically that. It was having others around you level up the competition.
I see. It makes me think of Islam and Habib, you and DC. You know, just the same kind of relationship. Two champions that can make each other better and don't want to go against each other and only push each other higher. And I don't know. Do you ever think of it like that, Hav?
No, it was exactly like that. DC would never go and fight Cain in a real fight because they're brothers, you know, as brothers could be, just the same as Islam and Habib. They were helping each other, sharpening each other, but they would never fight each other. Never. That was never going to happen. That's why DC moved up to heavyweight. I mean, moved down to light heavyweight for that very reason, because he wasn't going to fight Cain. No, it wasn't like, you know, come on, everybody knows, and DC knows, he loves to eat. So for DC to give up loving to eat, to not have to fight Cain, that was a big testament of their love for each other as teammates, as brothers, you know. And that's the same thing Islam and Habib have, the same kind of relationship. So yes, it's very, very similar, very similar.
That's amazing. You've had so many champions and you help each other out. So now you've been doing coaching, and it's like going full circle for you. I've seen you in there with Usman, and I've seen you in there with other fighters. Cain, how rewarding is that feeling to do that, since you already kind of gave before, but now doing it coaching in there? How's that feel? How's that experience for you?
It's great. It's just giving to give, right? Like you're sharing knowledge that you have that you believe can help somebody else. And you know, the guys in the gym are people that have chosen a certain road to fulfill their dreams. You know, each of them have a certain dream. Each of them have a dream that's already painted out, like, and how the best way that they believe they can achieve that dream, or what their dream looks like. And I'm just trying to help them again get up there quicker, you know, like have them really understand what this game is about. You know, there are certain things you need to do and have to do in order to, I guess we're looking for like the path of least resistance, you know, like you have to be smart, you have to have everything physically, like you have to have the mental game. It needs to all be combined as one, as a strong force. It's not just one thing. It's combining everything, being smart out there, and using all the tools that you've learned along the way with the technique. Like, and the guys that put it together the best are the guys that really flourish, you know, go up higher and higher, you know. But it's, yeah, like you said, it's rewarding. It is. You're just helping. Like, it makes you feel good when somebody gets that aha moment, or they put what you've said into action. And when you see that, it's, wow, I'm helping them. This is making them better. And it's just the ultimate reward. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about Usman? Javier said he's very coachable, and he probably looks like the guy that can go snap, thank you, and like adopt it like instantly, like a video gamer that sees a new technique or something. Is it like that with him?
There's some, yeah. I would say there's some guys that catch it much quicker than others, and guys that like really can just. I think everybody learns differently, but some guys that can just watch it, and just by watching it they can do it. Or some guys maybe need to be taught like step by steps in order to get the certain technique down, or to get the certain philosophy down as far as the pace of fighting, or the technical like movements of fighting. But yes, there's some guys in there that, again, are very high level of absorbing, you know, information.
Well, Lynn, hey, Cain doesn't have much time left, so let's go ahead and let him exit, but also let everybody know that Cain and I, we're going to be starting another podcast called Coach's Corner. So guys, stay tuned for that. It's coming out with myself and Cain, and I am the Bay, Brian Vega, and then also Lynn's going to also help in that project as we go along. But this is just basically the introduction to that, and I'm sure, you know, we can persuade Cain to come on board a little bit more and discuss some great knowledge that he's obtained by all those years he spent with us.
I think it's a very intriguing podcast, and thank you for coming on board today. Well, very, very interesting to hear the story. I think people are really going to enjoy this. And thank you for your time, Cain. And
no, thank you guys. And I guess I want to just kind of like put in perspective, like I truly believe like what somebody learns as far as their passion, as far as their craft, can be there's like a universal translation. Like it can be something that I've learned in fighting, or a lot of things that I've learned in fighting can also be translated over to life. You know, and that's everything. That's mentality. That's ways of going about certain things. You know, learning different stuff and never giving up. I believe anything that anybody learns in their craft can be translated over to the bigger picture, and I just truly believe like that's what we're doing here with this coaching aspect of MMA. It's a bigger picture. It's a bigger knowledge that you're learning that you can apply everywhere in your life.
that's awesome. It's
Agreed.
been a great podcast, guys. We'll be letting everybody know when your podcast is coming out soon. I'll put that in the community here. It'll look pretty cool. You guys will be, what kind of stuff are you going to be talking about on there, Coach?
Stuff like this, you know, technique things. Have Cain, you know, and I go through certain viewpoints. We may have the same viewpoint, just different angles, you know, or we may have completely different viewpoints, but same results. Winning. They're winning viewpoints regardless of what angle him and I are going to discuss. They're winning viewpoints because guess what? I'm a winner. He's a winner, you know, and we're giving our recipe, our ideas for what created what we're doing. And now Cain's joined me in the coaching department, and I watch and I see what he's doing with the fighters and how he's molding them, how he's educating them. And it's a different approach than mine, but the same approach in a lot of ways. But it's different, but it's the same. Regardless of one thing, it's winning.
I think that's what's awesome. I think that's why people will tune in. You're not a bunch of newscasters. You're actually the real person that they watched on TV that they wanted to emulate or learn from. And people can get that coming to your podcast. That's something that, you know, it's like having one of the top business people or top athletes in the world. There's not enough that do that. So people are going to really like it. And thank you guys for coming on today.
Thank you.